Yeah.
Okay, hello everybody, and welcome to the Relatively Gaming Podcast. My name is Turn-Based TJ, aka TJ, and I'm joined by my fantastic Fox host, Enigma 9011, aka Brett. How you doing today, Brett?
I'm good. I'm dashing around Final Destination. I'm not picking up items because everybody's super sweaty in that game and they hate items for some reason. Everybody's not going to love this reference. I don't know. I'm good. How are you?
Is that a melee reference? A
Yeah,
melee
you said
reference?
Fox, so I was just going off.
Okay, I think I was referencing Fantastic Mr. Fox, the
Oh,
Wes
okay. That
Anderson
works.
film.
Yeah.
But Fox McCloud also works. Pew pew. Okay, anyway. Um, Yeah, let's just jump right into the gaming news, I suppose. I'll let you go first because I think once again our gaming news is going to overlap.
Oh,
So I'll let you cross them off of my checklist here.
okay. I'll be intrigued to see what we got. All right, so I'm going to start with an article from Polygon. This is from Devin McClure. Marvel Rivals is getting a new PvE zombies mode with Mizzou vibes. I don't know what the fuck that is, but just quickly from the article from Devin here. Marvel Rivals has teamed up with Marvel Animation for the first ever PvE, so player versus environment mode, Marvel Zombies. The first season of the Marvel Zombies animated miniseries just wrapped on Disney Plus last month. It was really good. And now Rivals is getting in on the undead fun just in time for spooky season. There will be 5 heroes to choose from in the new mode: Thor, Blade, Magic, Jeff, and the Punisher. Each of them will have a new ability to aid them in fighting. And yeah, looking forward to it. Should be a good
Looking forward
time.
to it as well. I'm a little I don't want to say let down, but I'm a little concerned it's only the 5 characters. That makes me a little sad. I do kind of wish it was the full roster. I want to play as Moon Knight, of course.
Sure.
Um, so I'm wondering why they limited it to the 5 or what the mode has to offer. So we'll have to see for sure.
Sure. So it's got a lot of parallels, obviously, to the Overwatch. They had the it's been a while. Um, Doctor Frankenstein, Junkenstein. That's what it is. And you got the waves of the enemies there. That had a limited roster in the first season. That was there, and then they expanded on it. At least the next time it came up, not everybody's involved that I do know. However, TJ, do you mind if I spoil something for you? Well, actually,
No,
have you watched Marvel Zombies?
I have not watched Marvel Zombies.
Okay, there's a very cool thing. Spoiler for Marvel Zombies. Skip like 10 seconds. You mentioned Moon Knight. Blade in that series is Moon Knight. So in this, Blade will wield bouncing moon blades.
Okay, well, you know what? I'm happy then. I'm a happy camper. Everything's gonna be just fine.
Yeah. So yeah, should be cool. I'm looking forward to jumping into that.
Blade is Moon Knight. Okay, sorry, I'm still wrapping my
You're
head
good. I
around it,
know.
but
I
no,
was like,
that's cool.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a very cool moment from that show. Let's see. Next, from IGN on the cinematic side of things, from Leanne Butkovic. Sorry, Leanne. It's official. A Mortal Kombat 3 is coming, as announced at New York Comic-Con panel for the upcoming Mortal Kombat 2 screenwriter. Jeremy Slater confirmed that he's already in the process of writing the script for a third movie. Quote, "Our friends at New Line and Warner Brothers are so happy with this movie," unquote, said Slater, who penned Mortal Kombat 2. They are excited. They are so convinced that there is a giant fan base waiting for it. They've already hired me to start writing the next installment. So exciting, cool. Mortal Kombat 2 is listed here. The sequel to the 2021 movie will release on May 16th, after originally being pushed back from fall 2025, aka now.
Yeah,
So yeah, I mean, I wonder what the delay was about. It seems like they said test audiences have really enjoyed Mortal Kombat 2 for what it's shown and what the edit was like, or the final product, or whatever. So I guess they decided to push it just to kind of hit that summer blockbuster type thing, perhaps. And then interesting to know that they already have a third planned. I mean, the first movie, I really enjoyed the first movie, but I wouldn't say it was like anything super awesome. It was just like, yeah, this is decent. Cole's here. Cole's okay. And then you had some cool moments with like the other characters. I know I have personally a lot of excitement for the second one just because we're adding a lot of characters. We're adding Johnny Cage. We're adding Katana. I think Baraka was shown in that first trailer. Um, so like, there's more characters that are going to get introduced, and it's going to be interesting to see how the actual tournament happens or comes together. Because the first one was very set up, you know. Oh, we're the chosen warriors or whatever the hell, and then they trained and then didn't have a tournament. It was just Shao Kahn's like, hey, bitch. Or not even Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn's in the second movie. Shang Tsung, was he the bad guy? Wow, that helps that I can even
I do
think of
not
the,
remember
exactly.
the bad
Helps
guy.
that we can't
Yeah.
even think of the key moments. Whoever the bad guy was tried to interfere, and then they fought, and then Cole was like, I'm a good guy. I don't know. So so I don't know. Interesting to know that they, you know, have enough success that they're already working on it. I guess you'd rather have that, so you have a hopefully a definitive plan instead of just winging it every time and leaving a cliffhanger. But just a little surprising. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, no, that is surprising. That was one that I had on my list that I crossed off too.
Oops.
Um, I can't believe they greenlit a third movie before the second one even comes out. They usually does not end well, but I hope in this case it does go well. I hope the second one is successful. The first
Mhm.
one I think had a moderate amount of success, right? It wasn't like a
Yeah.
flop or anything.
Right. No. No. Yeah, I did okay.
Yeah, that's good.
And I got one more. Cult of the Lamb expansion of Woolhaven. I believe it got showed off a little bit more at IGN FanFest. It is confirmed to be a 2026 release date for the expansion. Um, there's been talks that it's as big as the base game, adding a lot of mechanics and stuff. So just excited. I think they said early 2026, so it's relatively soon. So good for the team at ooh, should have looked up the dev. It's a monster. I don't know. Good on those guys. So, yeah, Cult of the Lamb, a lot of fun if you guys haven't played it yet. Mix of that roguelike.
It's oh,
Oh,
there
physical
it is.
edition. Massive monster.
Yeah, it's Massive Monster. Yes.
Awesome. Awesome. So, mix of the dungeon crawler and the base building. Probably the base building kind of outshone the dungeon stuff, but good for them. Cult of the Lamb has definitely gotten a cult audience, I would say. So, yeah, excited for the team.
Yeah, absolutely. I absolutely love Cult of the Lamb. I had to get the physical edition for that game because
Hell
it
yeah.
is so fun. Yeah, so really looking forward to the DLC. I'll definitely be buying it day one because I want a whole new Cult of the Lamb experience. It's fantastic.
Nice.
Over to some other news here. We got there's just going to be a new Avatar fighting game, and no, not that Avatar, the other Avatar. Yes, the airbending one. It's called Avatar Legends, and it's going to be released in the summer. It looks pretty cool. You got Korra. You have different eras of some characters from Legend of Korra, like with
Oh,
their older forms. Like you have young Toph, and you also have old Toph.
hmm.
So cool stuff like that. Or maybe is it Toph? People are gonna absolutely destroy me in the comments
You're
of
good.
like
Yeah, you're right,
of like
Toph.
this character. Yeah, okay. I was just saying
Earthbender's
they're like
blind.
Toph actually died. Why are you? No,
No, no.
Okay. But it was like younger characters and older characters, characters from Legends of Korra and characters from Avatar: The Last Airbender, and it looks pretty good actually. I think it's looks even better than that Invincible fighting game.
Oh.
No shade thrown there, but it looks pretty good. Um, Speaking of fighting games, Dragon Ball Fighters has been resurrected from the dead. It gets a balance update and a brand new character, which is I'm gonna butcher this, but it's Daima Super Saiyan 4 Goku.
You nailed it. Yeah, okay.
Okay. I saw the glasses come off. I was like, oh no.
Not that
Yeah,
I've
so
watched the show, but
a new version of Goku, so that's pretty cool.
yeah, there's like 50 of them in there, so why not another?
Yeah, well, what's one more?
Right.
Uh, yeah, and your team of is it that's a team fighter, right? You get a
Yeah,
team
that's
of
the
three.
Marvel vs. Capcom, like the partner swap in and out, swap in. Yeah, tag fighting. That's the thing.
Fantastic. I'm excited for that because that was some of the most fun I had was playing Dragon Ball Fighters with I believe you, right? We played
Yeah,
that
you, me,
game
and
for a
Alex
while.
back in the day. Yep.
Yeah, back in the day. Yeah, that was a good time.
Oh yeah.
With Swoley Broly.
Yep.
Yeah. Pokemon ZA has come out with reviews here and there, they say, but also there's Pokemon leaks.
Mhm.
abound, including Pokemon Gen 10 images. People have been circulating the images of the Pokemon themselves,
Oh.
along with the concepts of the new game itself entirely. So I have not. I know it sounds like a very vague piece of news, but that's because I did not look into the leaks myself. I did not want to be spoiled, and also I don't like the leaking because I think it kind of discredits the devs, even
Hmm.
though it is the devs of the Pokemon Company, and we want them to be a little bit better with their fidelity and everything. But yeah, so Pokemon leaks everywhere, which was pretty crazy. The internet was all abuzz about
Hmm.
that. Um, my last piece of news, because you stole my other two. Oh no! Last piece of news is the video game Absolum is actually getting a TV show confirmed, a cartoon by
Wow.
Supermonk.
Okay. Cool.
Supermonk does fantastic art, so I'm very excited for that. Which is going to lead me into the next section of what we've been playing, and I'm just going to kick it off since I mentioned
Of course.
Absolum. I've
Of
been
course.
playing Absolum. That's the game I've been playing. Started a new job this week, so I haven't had a lot of time to game, but the time that I have had to game has been playing Absolum for sure. And just been going on runs. I mentioned it in your Twitch stream, Brett, but I did in fact manage to beat Absolum at one point,
Sweet.
which was pretty great. I don't know how I did that. It was like the perfect run. I had like this much health at the very end of
Right.
beating the boss. I was like, please don't die now. I only got to the final boss the one time. I was like, please, this cannot be the time I die. But I managed to beat it. And what's crazy and cool is when you beat the game, then like another boss unlocks. That's after the final boss.
Oh.
So now you
Okay.
have to go all the way back and beat the final boss and then beat another boss on top of that, which I haven't even gotten back to the first boss yet.
Sure.
And on top of that, they added like warp rifts where they just like warps will open in the sky while you're fighting and it'll drop in enemies from other sections, like later sections.
Oh. Okay.
So it makes it much more difficult. You can actually turn that off if you talk to a specific character in like the home base area,
Okay.
which I didn't know. But so for a while, I was like, oh, there's an extra boss, and the game is harder now.
Right. Right.
Trying to get back there. But that's not all. There's also more what do you call them? Like character quests that you would do as well. Like for the character that I beat the main quest with, Galandra, she has another quest where she has to fight a boss in a separate region. So even though I beat the game, I beat it one pathway. There's a secondary pathway that you could have gone
Mm.
completely entirely different. And if I go that pathway and I have a certain item and I go to a certain area, then I can fight a certain boss. And that boss is like the challenge for that character. And it's like
Gotcha.
permanently on the map. And it's like that for every character that I've noticed except for one. So there's three additional quests that have been added. Um, so it's pretty cool. There's a lot of content that's added after you've beaten the game. There's also an in-game quest counter or like trophy log kind of thing, like challenges that you can do,
Hmm.
which is great because I'm playing on Switch and Switch does not, despite that rumor from a couple episodes ago, they still have not implemented a trophy system. So I'm gonna have to go off of the in-game trophy system, which is it's working for now. It's
Hmm.
it's working. It's been pretty good. Um, but yeah, I can't stop playing the game. It's just very fun.
So
Uh,
it's the roguelike beat 'em up side scroller. So is it roguelike where you're gonna be getting progressively stronger with these characters, or is it light? Wait, no. Like is the restart. Light is the progression, right?
yeah, it's a rogue light, not a like.
So no progression?
So lots of progression.
Lots of progression.
It's like
Okay. Oh
Hades.
boy.
It's like Hades. Like
Okay.
basically now I have two Death Defied basically
Gotcha.
that you can unlock through. Yeah.
And then as you're going through these runs, like speaking of Hades, like you have the boons that you can pick up from the different gods, give you different powers. What's the modify? Like, what are you picking up in these runs, or is there anything that you're picking up in these runs to kind of help you go through?
Yeah, every time you clear a screen you get something,
Okay.
but I think it's like every three screens or so it seems you get a crystal. You break the crystal and you get one of three abilities.
Hmm.
And those are kind of like your boons that you choose, like one of the three. And then later on, which is very cool, once you've the Death Defied that you upgrade with the you upgrade it at a tree, and it costs like little tiny crystals to upgrade. I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing a terrible job of explaining this, but once you've maxed out that tree, which you can do pretty easily, I'd say in probably like 7 to 10 hours, you could probably max out that tree and get your 2 death defies. Once you've done that, you can spend those tiny crystals to re-roll those bigger crystals.
Gotcha.
So if you don't get a ability that you like, you can re-roll it and hopefully get something that you like. You can also use that to re-roll. You get even stronger, or like I would say like Daedalus Hammer level modifiers when you beat a boss.
Mm-hmm.
When you beat like a main boss, like the Under King or something.
Mm-hmm.
You can re-roll those as well, which is great. I spend all my crystals re-rolling those to get the for Galandra, she gets a ghost sword that follows her around and will attack enemies for you and is invincible. So I'm like always trying to re-roll to get that ghost sword, 'cause that's how I beat the game the first time. So I'm
Sure.
like, please give it to me again, give
Yeah.
it to me again. And you don't always get it for sure. But yeah, so you go through and you unlock stuff, or sometimes the end screen will just be gold, or the end screen will be items that you would get that help modify things. So that's what you're getting to progress each time
Okay.
is like either, yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, it sounds real cool. I've only seen a tiny bit of this game, but from everything you've explained, it sounds like it's up my alley. So maybe one day.
Yeah, I think it's rough that it came out in the same year as Hades 2, or the same like couple month span. I think if this came out like 6 months ago, people would have really really paid it attention. Or if it came out 6 months from now, people might have paid it a little bit more attention.
Sure.
I've been seeing some stuff on YouTube about it, but I think that's just because I searched on YouTube about it, so now it's catering stuff to me.
Yeah, algorithm.
Yeah, so the algorithm is like, oh, I know you like Absolum now. But I hope the word gets out about the game. I think I'm a part of the subreddit for Absolum, and there's like 90 people in the
Mm.
subreddit, so it's like not the biggest game in the world, but it is my game of the year so far. I can say that without a doubt. I absolutely love this game. I have no plan on stopping playing it whatsoever or slowing down on my playing of it. I just love, like, anytime I get like, 45 minutes, I'm like, let's throw a run in, let's see, let's roll the dice, let's see how far we can go.
Mm-hmm.
Because then there's different challenges again where it's like, you've beaten the game, but beat that boss with the different characters. So it's like all 4 characters. It's like there's just so much to. You could spend hours and hours trying to get all these challenges. So it's
Right.
it's pretty great.
Good.
What about yourself? What have you been playing?
So I have a few written down. So we talked about Hades just now, so I'll talk about that very, very briefly. Still chipping away on it on stream. We got to the third area and that final boss in the third area twice. Nice little continuation of the story. I'm not going to say anything here just in case. But enjoyed what I had learned from that. And the third area is very different from the first 2 sections of Melanoi's journey in Hades to kind of like Zag in the fourth area. Not as, it doesn't do the same mechanics of like how that area was, but it's different, so it makes a little bit more variety, which I appreciate. And yeah, story continues being good. I'm learning a little bit more here and there about what's going on, but it's slow and steady. Like I said, this past week's stream made a lot of progress. Runs were taking about an hour a piece, so I only got through 3. But hopefully that progression keeps going, as I'll keep doing that on stream. So yeah. Next one I'll touch on quickly, Marvel Rivals. I've been playing that on my own. I know we play from time to time together, but I hopped into a few sessions earlier this week. Boy, howdy hey, frustrating. I don't know if it was just the solo queuing or whatever, but man, nobody wants to play healer, and boy, it sucks when everybody auto, picks right into damage. I understand DPS is fun because I want to play more DPS.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I enjoy playing Loki, but it's just like any game. If you play something or a role or a character like over and over and over again, it's one thing if you have the choice to play them. It's another thing when you're forced to play them. Not that I have to be healer, but I kind of feel like I have to.
Right.
So maybe I just got to be like, fuck it, I'm gonna play damage. I don't give a shit. I mean, I'm not on comms anyway, so who's gonna yell at me? But whatever. So that's been a little frustrating. And then I think it was Tuesday night, I was just losing left, right, and center. I mean, solo heals or just for some reason we weren't getting kills. I messaged you off stream of like, I had a team, 4 of them had lowered pictures, which is like the highest experience level for the character, like the most time they've put into it. 4 lowered pictures, and they were doing awful. Like you would expect, oh, this person's put a lot of time into it. This is going to go really well for us. Nope, they were doing ass. I think I had the most kills at 2 as a healer for the longest time until I said fuck it and swapped a Punisher just to try and do anything. Ugh. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a bummer. I've seen some posts, and maybe it's like you said, the algorithm, like on TikTok, like, ooh, Marvel Rivals has lost a bunch of its player base, which happens to these games. You know, you try and keep players around with new characters, but we've seen it with a lot of live service titles. The boom, it starts, and there's a lot of audience there, and then they lose it pretty quickly because there's a lot of games out there. It doesn't keep the attention. So I don't know. We'll see. I thought Daredevil would have brought more people back. Doesn't seem like to be the case. Like, I still haven't tried Daredevil. I kind of want to because he looks cool both in his base outfit, and then they have a 2099 skin that looks amazing. But I haven't got a chance to play him yet. He's a little bit tough to fight against. He's kind of like a Spider-Man and an Iron Fist, so I'm like, ooh, maybe I don't want to play as them because they're very aggressive. But I don't know. Had some rough games there, but and then I want to talk about 2 Steam Next Fest demos that I did play. So as you're listening to this episode, today is the last day of Steam Next Fest, so get those demos in quick if you can, or at least go wishlist the games that you did see some content creators play. But I want to shout out to one being Shroom and Gloom. This is a hand-drawn card deck builder dungeon crawler. Very funky art style, but I had a lot of fun playing it, kind of going against the enemies, you know, figuring out, I wouldn't say puzzles, but just strategizing as you're going through to make it through. I made it pretty far into the demo, I want to say, to that final boss. And yeah, I was having a great time with it. This is a game I've been following for a little while because it is being published by Devolver Digital, which I'm a big fan of them. So I've kind of heard about it from other people who are fans of Devolver and Devolver themselves. But seeing the progress of like how this game is being made, everything's a 2D image. They're tunnels and whatnot that you go through, but it's just layered on top of each other. So they've shown it where it's like 3D and they span out, and it's just weird to see like flat, like just all these things in layer with one another that you never see as a player. Like you could, if you look at it, you can like, oh, I can see where this would be a break, but you're never seeing that in betweens of, you know, the emptiness, the void or whatever that's not a playable area. But I had a lot of fun with that one. And then another one, which actually released the day after I played the demo, is Ball Pit. I've had a lot of friends over on Blue Sky talking about Ball Pit. I guess it might have been on Steam Next Fest the previous time, back in February. No, back over the summer. And people were absolutely loving it. It's a brick breaker rogue game where you go in, you got your little guy, you got one special ball and then like 4 regular pebble balls or whatever, and you're just launching them, trying to brick break enemies away as they slowly come down the screen. If they get too close to you, they will attack you, and you're trying to survive as long as you can. Similar to Balatro, similar to Vampire Survivors, as you get experience, you can get more of these balls that have certain abilities, buffs, whatever it is, to try and help you level up certain ones that you do have, and eventually you can start fusing them together. So I had one ball that did like bleed damage, and I had one ball that acted like a ghost and would go through things, and yeah, I fused those 2 together, so I had a ghost ball that was just flying through and causing bleed damage to everything. Personally, I sucked at the demo. I think I didn't last more than 7 minutes which wasn't great for like, I'm understanding what this game is doing. But from what I've heard from other players' experiences, my friends are having a great time with it. There's a lot of different crazy combinations that you can unlock. And along with the main purpose being the brick breaking stuff, when you go up top or in between rounds, there's like a resource management similar to Cult of the Lamb where you can kind of build little plots of things and then eventually build a village, and this kind of gives you resources to get more permanent upgrades. It seems that part of the demo wasn't super clear of like what you can do there. But the game is out now, I think, across all platforms, and congrats to them. Sorry, I don't know the devs, but they've already sold 100,000 copies, which is insane.
Wow.
So yeah, this is another one I'll probably pick up because it'll be one of those things just to like run through here and there. You know, obviously don't have to spend a lot of time focused or like invested on the story in comparison to other games. It could be more for fun, quick, fit a few quick rounds in if you want to. So I'd give it a shot, look it up, and yeah, had a good time with it. So that's it for me.
Yeah, no more Ghost of Yotoi.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I did. Thank you for reminding me. I did very poor with my adventure, as someone is sitting on my lap of Artemis the cat. He was up my butt this weekend. And I couldn't focus on the game, unfortunately. I'm a little scared, not for the game itself. It's more of a personal thing. I feel like I haven't finished a lot of games recently. Borderlands I still haven't finished. Ghost I jumped into obviously and was invested immediately. I don't know if it's this weird thing where I stop playing something for a little bit and then my interest is like, it's gone. It's poof, whatever. So I'm trying to be better. As I say, I'm like, oh, I'm going to buy Ball Pit. Like, I'm trying to be better of like, finish the games you have. I'm going to try my best, but I know it's hard and I know everybody says it. So, talked about this on stream. Ball Pit, I'll probably pick up. Power Wash Simulator comes out Thursday as this episode comes out. I'm definitely going to grab that. You alluded to Pokemon ZA. I said I was going to wait on that. I'm really getting FOMO right now. That might be my third. If it is my third, that's it. No more. Done until, 2026 and I start beating some things. But I need to get back to Yotei. I need to focus on that. And I hope next week I can talk more about it. But yeah, I did not have the successful weekend I was hoping to with that.
Yeah, no, it's okay. You still managed to play quite a few games. So
yeah, stream helps
it's
out a lot too.
great.
We did play through Inside as well yesterday, all the way through. Weird game. Beat it in under 3 hours. But yeah, weird. It was good. People who made Limbo.
Was it spooky at all?
A little bit. Nothing. It was more like unsettling, but not even in a like, oh my god, I can't handle this way. It was very light horror, light unsettling, light creepiness.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good. Well, speaking of playing a variety of games and playing games for a long time, like the roguelike games that I was playing in the beginning, games that you could theoretically play for forever if you suck enough, like I do. What's what are 3 games that you think you could play on a desert island that you would take on a desert island with you? So not necessarily your 3 favorite games or the 3 best games, but just the 3 games that you can only have 3 video games. What would those be?
Oof. Okay. Well, we've already talked about Hades 2 more today, but I will say Hades 1. Like even playing Hades 2 now, and granted, maybe it's because I'm limiting myself of like, that's a stream game. So I'm not playing it on a different save file off of stream to get that fixed to keep practicing or whatever. But I've been thinking of like, I should just play Hades 1 again. Just boot that up on the PS4 and fill my time with that. So I feel like Hades is a good one. Because like you said, whether you're still chasing after completing it and going after Hades himself and completing your runs, whether it's still chasing that or the post game of I've already done it, I've seen at least what the story has to offer, I feel like the variety is enough in there where it's rewarding each time, and with the different boons and different weapons, it gives like that extra variety of challenge, and it's not just bland and boring of doing the same thing over and over again due to that variety. So I would say Hades for sure is number one. Oh boy. See, now it gets tricky. Because I'm trying to think of, like you said, it's not going to be favorites. It's going to be something I'm going to be playing over and over again. So I'm trying to think of like what holds my attention enough, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, not the easiest question in the world.
No, it's a good question though. I like it. I'm going to shout out Spider-Man, and not just because I'm looking at a poster right now as I ponder into the... but I'll say Spider-Man 2. I mean, I've only played it once, but like swinging around New York just is fun in general. And Spider-Man 2, along with either of the Insomniac Spider-Man games, there's a lot to offer in those two. Whether it's the main quest, whether it's the side stories, the collectibles, whatever it is. I think those games are really good. I would say Spider-Man 2 just for, once again, the variety of switching between Peter and Miles. So you get a little bit more spice there, and their different movesets. So that's fun. And then you have the suit variety too, so you get a little extra abilities there. Third. I feel gut feeling says a Pokemon game. But now I gotta decide which one.
Well, Gold has both regions, so
That's true. I did give
it's kind
up.
of cheating.
Yeah, no, not really. That's one of the biggest pros of Gold and Silver that I wish they brought back for others was the other regions. Yeah. Let's go with Silver because it's got the nostalgia. Let's go with Soul Silver because then you can run, and the other quality of life stuff. Granted, I haven't seen much of Soul Silver as I started streaming that, and then have been bad and got distracted by other things. But yeah, I'll say that because obviously, once again, the story there, at least, like you said, you got the two regions, so it's going to go for a little while. The grinding, the collecting of it, if you want to do that. I'm not going to say it's going to be the most fun all the time on the island, but, if you find a comfy spot and just go through it, that could be a good time. Yeah, that's a tough one. What about you? You got anything on the top of your head?
Ooh, I don't know about 3, but I definitely know I'd put Super Smash Bros. Ultimate in there.
Okay.
Because I would just want to queue up and play some fighting games. I'd have to, with the caveat, I'd have to have an amiibo if I'm by myself.
Oh, really?
Because because otherwise those level 9 computers you're gonna get used to real fast. So the amiibo functions, they like train higher than level 9
Oh, okay. I didn't
in
know. I
Smash
didn't realize
Ultimate.
that.
Yeah, and you can put, I believe they're not stickers, that's from Brawl. The spirits, you can add spirits onto them, I believe.
Okay.
So that'll make them stronger and things like that. I guess there's the spirit mode.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah, I
that's
don't
a
know.
pretty beefy mode.
Yeah, and the spirit board that rotates every day. So it'd be a reason to check in every day and fight some spirits. And yeah, I feel like that would be a good one. Maybe like a racing game, because that would kind of never get it. You could always kind of perfect your track, your trajectory a little bit. I don't know. I'm surprised that you didn't have a fighting game on your list, to be honest with you.
See, the thing is if it's just me, we've covered it in the past episodes, like online fighting games. I'm not a big fan of, just because I'm usually getting my ass kicked left, right, and center. You and I obviously have melted a lot of hours into fighting games personally, whether it was, or rather in person, whether it was Dragon Ball FighterZ, it was Mortal Kombat X, Street Fighter 6. Like, that's good because you got the person there, the camaraderie, and if it's a good person, like I said, good is like somebody you're enjoying your time with. It melts away. Like those Street Fighter 6 sessions in the last hangout we had last year, like they didn't feel like 3 hours or whatever hell,
Yeah.
So if it's not that for me, the single player aspect of it is very limited, and I feel like I would hit boredom levels a little bit more quicker with that, because I'm not one to go into the lab and like practice a combo a bunch of times or try and figure out stuff. I'll do it a little bit, but I'm not that big like the FGC sometimes is, of just like, all right, here's this character, let's figure out how to make a good chain and do this and do that. It's not my thing.
Yeah, no, I see that. I can see that now for sure. I guess with Super Smash Bros. Is a little bit different than like a traditional fighting game,
There's more
but I can
variety
see.
in there, and you can
Yeah.
do it where it's more competitive, like you said, with the spirits, with the amiibos, the no items, or you could just fully go chaotic and go party mode and put on all these items or only certain items. You got the spirit mode that's in depth if you want to do brawl, like we've talked about in the past. You got the subspace emissary, which was great. So I feel
The
like,
stage builder.
yeah, there's a little bit more variety in there. That
For sure. For sure. I don't know what my third one would be, but yeah, probably a strategy game of some kind that you could re-roll, like maybe one of the XComs, maybe XCOM 2,
mm,
because it does play like a board game where you choose like your location of where your ship's going to be and
mm,
you get resources from that. I'm kind of misremembering that. I know in the first one, for example, you choose which continent your base is on.
yep.
Um, and I always chose Africa because they get more money.
Oh, okay.
Whereas America would get like you would get like better fighter jets or whatever, like cheaper fighter jets. But I would choose Africa for the money. Give me
Mm.
that cash money, that sweet cash money. So yeah, maybe a game like that because it is like a board game, like Risk kind of.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Thank you for bouncing the question back to me.
Of course. I need to do that. Be a good co-host. Not just, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here. Ask me the
No,
questions.
no, you're a great co-host. And as a great co-host, I now get to inundate you with the section called, and now and then we're gonna share and we teach stuff. Working title. And for this week on this segment, um, Brett, how much do you know about Shin Megami Tensei?
Okay. Oh boy. I know it and Persona somehow have a relationship with each other. I don't know if they fornicated officially. I don't know if they're Facebook official. I don't know what there is. But I know they're somehow related. Persona, though, has its main title games over here, also has fighting game spin-offs, also has Persona 5 Tactica, also has dance games. I don't know. And then Shin Megami Tensei is also mentioned a lot, but I don't know. I don't know much about it.
Okay, well, all the way back in 1987, right when Japan's gaming scene was like about to burst onto the scene, I guess. There was a novel by, I'm gonna butcher this name, Aya Nishitani. She wrote a horror sci-fi novel called Digital Devil Story Megami Tensei. And it was about a computer that could summon demons and devils. Um, and so that got turned into an NES or a Famicom game that was wild for its time because you could actually talk to the demons and recruit them. Kind of like Pokemon, but instead of throwing a Pokeball at them, you would just like talk to them and negotiate. And also, have you ever played Etrian Odyssey or like Persona Q?
Mm-mm.
Okay, these are games where you go through and it's like I'd say first person, but there's nothing really. It's just the camera basically
Okay.
going through like tiled walls and you're just going through dungeons like this. It's just like tiled segments. That was kind of like what the first game was like. And it predates Etrian Odyssey and all those games, obviously. There are games now that seek to recreate that style. But yeah, it was pretty cool. It was all about faith, identity, and control. Those are like the main questions and themes of the game. And then they remade it as Shin Megami Tensei, which means true goddess reincarnation. Um, and that's when the franchise found its groove because that's when it was actually about like post-apocalyptic Tokyo,
Mm.
which was not in the book. They added that in Shin Megami Tensei, and that's been a staple in the mainline Shin Megami Tensei games ever since, where it was about post-apocalyptic Japan and Tokyo, and also these devils being summoned by computers. Sometimes they'd be devices or sometimes things like that. Um, let's see. There's a lot of law, chaos, and neutral. You have to choose that. That's a big theme in the main games at least. And like the The first three games specifically. In the fourth game, it's a little weird because you're samurai knights,
Oh,
and then you find out that you're actually still in post-apocalyptic Tokyo. Even though you're samurai knights, it's like time has progressed so long that we've like restarted civilization basically.
gotcha.
Um, in Shin Megami Tensei 5, I don't even know what's going on in the beginning of that. It's like the apocalypse in Shin Megami Tensei games are the like the precursor to the game basically. Like it's like you start the game and you have like 5 seconds of normalcy and then the apocalypse happens. That's how Shin Megami
Oh,
Tensei games are.
okay.
Um, the third game is notorious for being very hard, by the way. It has what do you call it? Dante from Devil May Cry in it.
Really? Oh,
Yes, but it is notoriously it's like the Dark Souls of JRPGs. It's
lovely.
like so brutally hard.
Yeah.
That came out in 2003, so it was like a PS2 game and it's like one of those esoteric PS2 games that you can barely parse through. At least on my end. I've tried playing Nocturne a couple of times and like
Hmm.
they remade it for the Switch or they like, ported it to the Switch. And my God, was that a hard game. Um anyway, there's a lot of spin-offs and stuff. There's only five main games, even though it goes all the way back since 1992 when they rebooted Shin Megami Tensei. And the second Shin Megami Tensei came out like right afterwards on the Super Nintendo.
Oh,
Um, but the spin-offs include Persona, Devil Summoner, Digital Devil Saga, Devil Survivor, Strange Journey, much more. But Persona is
oh,
just one of the spin-offs of Shin Megami Tensei.
oh, okay. I apologize to all fans earlier when I said there was a relationship going on here. We don't do that. That's illegal. This is a spawn of that. Ooh, boy.
Yeah.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, Persona spawns off of Shin Megami Tensei If, a 1994 game, asks what if the apocalypse happened inside of a school?
What is a
Um,
school? What's with Japan and schools?
we don't know.
Silent Hill, Danganronpa, Persona. I don't know.
Yeah, basically, as you know, they kept they have the devil summoning, but they added social simulation and dating mechanics and stuff and
Okay.
jazz soundtracks for some reason.
Yep.
Um, Persona is like the happiest version of Shin Megami Tensei
Okay.
because Shin Megami Tensei is it's like brutal because it's
Oh,
post-apocalyptic and there's demons and stuff and it's about restarting not just society but like restarting the world um in different games like you're deciding how to restart the world in different ways. Like I said in the fifth one that's the one I know the best because I actually beat that one all the way through whereas a lot of the other ones I've dropped out. Um but in Shin Megami Tensei 5, you're deciding which god controls the planet.
okay.
So like it's kind of a heavy topic.
Right.
My favorite's Digital Devil Saga, or sorry, actually, Devil Summoner, which actually has the initials DS because it was the DS games.
Perfect.
And Devil Summoner was is basically Fire Emblem, but with Shin Megami Tensei.
Okay.
So you would do a grid-based battle, but then you know how like when you do Final Fantasy Tactics or something, you do a grid-based battle, and then when they actually hit each other, it's just like a quick thing that denotes how much damage they do.
Yeah.
Yeah, instead of that quick damage thing, you go into a whole JRPG fight. Um, so it's a tactics-based game where you have a JRPG fight inside of that tactics-based game
Jesus
every
Christ.
time you're on the grid. Yeah.
Okay.
And they made two of them, and then they remade them for the 3DS called Devil Summoner. Or, sorry. Oh my gosh. I keep calling it Devil Summoner. Devil Survivor, Overclocked, and then the second one was called, I forget, to be honest with you. But
Sure.
yeah, they're pretty great. I mean, they keep making the spin-off games of the Shin Megami Tensei series, including just recently with the what was that one where it was I think it was the Digital Devil Saga. No, I can't remember which one it was. It's the one where you're a cop and you're going around looking for demons, but you have a demon yourself and it's like a real-time game. It just came out like maybe 3 months ago. It's gonna
You're gonna laugh at
destroy
me.
my
The only
brain.
thing that popped in my head is that Jeff Bridges movie and Ryan Reynolds movie where they're angel cops or whatever the fuck. I don't know why that popped in my head.
See, and now I'm thinking of that movie Bright, where they were orc
Will
cops.
Smith and the orc guy. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't know why my brain's thinking of that, but
Whoopsie.
anyway, yeah, lots of fun spin-offs. Strange Journey is also a really good spin-off. It's one of my favorites. It's Shin Megami Tensei in space. So
Ooh.
that's pretty cool. You got devils in space. Um, let's see, I'm just gonna skip through the rest. Basically, also Shin Megami Tensei has inspired a lot of different franchises, including Pokemon with its monster recruitment.
Mhm.
Because yes, Shin Megami Tensei does predate Pokemon. It's just that Pokemon is child friendly and not about demons. And
Yeah.
because there are some demons in the Shin Megami Tensei series who are wholly inappropriate.
Oh,
Uh, there's one that is just a giant male member.
nice.
Let me put it that way. Yeah, that's the entire sprite of the monster. That's all it is. Yeah, and they still have that in every single mainline game, which is great when
Huh.
you're playing. You're like, oh yeah, I forgot that.
That's a big dick.
Yeah, you're like, I'm 40 hours into this game. I can't abandon it now.
Nope.
Oh man. But yeah, also Western RPGs like Mass Effect and The Witcher have kind of taken some of the branching narrative paths and like what do you call it? The moral alignment system and
Okay.
choice-driven endings and stuff. So it's had its influence on the video game world, the video game culture. Uh, I don't know. What do you think about Shin Megami Tensei now that I've told you a little bit about it, even though I haven't really told you anything? I've been kind
I
of all
mean,
over the place.
well, I've learned a lot because yeah, I thought Persona was king, and then this one was the stepchild type situation of that. So that's interesting. I guess maybe Persona's just maybe more popular, or once again, could just be my circles of like the people that.
Oh no, it is. Persona
Oh,
is
okay,
way more popular. It's like Persona is like completely eclipsed Shin Megami Tensei entirely.
gotcha. Um, and yeah, you answered a lot of the questions I was having to pop up, like as you're going through, like the gameplay mechanics, um, how certain characters work, and like how the story's going to play out. Um, yeah, wow, I didn't realize it went that far back. And then it's also baffling. So in terms of length, because I know the Persona games pretty hefty, pretty
Yeah,
long. Are these similar in length and like depth?
they are similar in length and depth as far as complexity. You still have in Persona, you know, the Velvet Room.
Yes.
Yeah, you still have that where you can fuse demons and stuff too. That is core to the Shin Megami Tensei experience.
Okay.
So you still have that in all the games. So trying to collect all the demons is quite a task. You got to make sure that you're fusing the right demons with the right demons and recruiting the right ones and stuff. But I wouldn't say it's as long because there's not as much dialogue as in a Persona game.
Okay.
So usually a Shin Megami Tensei mainline game, like Shin Megami Tensei 4, for example, I believe was like 60 hours, and I think the one on the Switch is like 70 to 80 hours.
Okay.
So they're still very long JRPG games, but they're
Sure.
just not as long as Persona, which is like 120 hours or whatever the heck.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then you mentioned like Persona's got more of the social aspect to it of managing those relationships. And does it have the similar time crunch? Because I know the limited Persona I have played of Persona 3, like you were managing what you did every day, what tasks you went and did, and then you would kind of go into where the demons were at night, and you had to make sure you manage that time well. I did not, and I got myself locked at a point of no return where I wasn't strong enough for the baddies. Is it stressful like that where you really got to be meticulous or have that time crunch?
In the mainline games, no. You kind of because the world's already ended, so it's
Sure.
kind of like who cares?
Okay.
Like in Shin Megami Tensei 5, it's literally like an open world where you're just like running around a post-apocalyptic Tokyo,
Okay.
just like fighting demons. They kind of removed that entire. There's no like calendar or anything like that, so that's completely gone. That's all added. That's like a layer that they add on top of the demon abilities to make Persona what it is Persona, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other spin-off games do have time mechanics though. Uh I'm gonna say the wrong one because there's Devil Summoner and Devil Survivor and the DS one,
Mm-hmm.
the tactics one. That one does have a time mechanic because they've quarantined off a section of Tokyo and they're like the world is going to end in 5 days And so you're kind of stuck in this quarantine with your friends and you're trying to figure out how to get out of there. Also, you summon demons with cell phones in that game, and that's pretty sick. So,
Okay. And then is it a variety of gameplay styles? Like I know once again only going on Persona, but that's turn-based. Uh is this also focusing on turn-based, or you mentioned the tactics side for at least that one game? Does it have more variety between its titles?
they're mostly all turn-based
Okay.
games, with the exception of that one cop game, which I can't remember.
Sure.
And people are gonna absolutely destroy me in the comments. It's like Roy, starts with an R.
Mm-hmm.
The guy, it's got a sub title, but yeah, with the exception of that game, that's literally the one only game that's like action oriented. All of the other games are turn-based games. So
Okay.
it's really like a turn-based franchise, which is part of the reason that I love it. And I feel like I continually find new games in the series and new ways to experience the franchise that's fun in turn-based ways.
Mm-hmm. Cool. All right. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, because I've only heard about it in passing, and I'm like, oh, seems like there's a lot of people that are a fan of this. I don't know what it is, so cool to learn about it finally, and hopefully be a little bit more on the radar. And teams are like, oh yeah, cool, good, happy for those people.
Yeah, I highly recommend Shin Megami Tensei 5, but also if you only experience Shin Megami Tensei through Persona, that is also valid and good. Persona is a fun franchise.
Yeah, I've only dipped my toes into it. It's another one. Shout out to Pi that she recommended. So she got me 3 and 4 on PS2. So I tried 3 there. 4 I tried at some point because that was Lady's favorite game. And then I
Four
think
is my favorite, yeah.
and then I tried 5. I did like the first 15 minutes, and then it was one of those ones I never went back to. But I enjoyed my time with those 15 minutes. So they're on the backlog, but it's intimidating because I have heard how long those games are. And then also with my failures of 3 of like, that's a lot to manage. I don't know. So I think 5 would most likely be the one I go back to if and when I do so. But yeah.
Yeah, 5 is a lot more relaxed with the social pressure from what I can
Okay.
remember. There's a time period where you have to finish the boss or get to the boss before a certain event usually happens, where it'll be like, if you don't get this PE teacher by this time, he's gonna expel you.
Okay.
And so you have 30 days to do the PE teacher thing before he expels you or whatever.
Sure.
Or if you don't get rid of this art guy before this, he'll arrest you. And so you have to do it. But it's pretty easy. You can stay in there for a long time. I usually find myself ending with like 15 days to spare.
Hmm.
And then I would have 15 days of just doing social stuff, of just doing things like that. So it's pretty easy and lenient in Persona 5. And I'm saying that as someone who hasn't beaten the game, so I don't know if it cranks up in difficulty later on.
Sure.
I've only played like 50 hours of that game, which I know it's crazy to say only, but in Persona, I've only played 50 hours of that
Sure.
game.
Yeah.
Oh, well, great. That's yeah, one of my favorite gaming franchises of all time because it's just weird. The vibes are fucked.
Hmm.
Um, what games are you looking forward to playing though, or on your backlog that you're looking forward to playing maybe?
Right. So I did decide. Yeah. I did decide to do a new release that is actually also coming out the week of this episode's release. But I'll be waiting on this one. But it's a game called Dispatch. So it is similar to Life is Strange, Wolf Among Us, where it is all text-based sounds weird, but narrative and your decisions of like, what should I say here? How should I react and whatnot? But what it is you are a dispatch service for superheroes. So you are getting calls of like, people need help because there's crime, and then interacting with the heroes and whatnot. I don't know if you are also a superhero, like in training, or have any powers yourself. So maybe that could be part of the story. I don't recall. But I do remember seeing this announced some point during this year. I was like, oh, that seems really cool. So I'm going to wait on it, but it did at least pique my interest. I've had a lot of good experiences with the first Life is Strange, Wolf Among Us, where I was like, yeah, absolutely love this kind of game. And then I've had lesser experiences where it's like, kind of feels like it's dragging on, or at least wasn't as engaging as I was hoping to with some others. So I think that's why it's not super high on my list, but I at least want to give it a shout and see how it does. So yeah, Dispatch, like I said, I think it will be out. I think it's the 22nd. If not, it's at least some point this week. So if that sounds like something fun to you, put it on your radar.
That sounds awesome, actually. Yeah, I have not heard of that game,
Mm.
so I'm definitely gonna add that to my radar. I have actually dipped my toes into the Batman Telltale game,
Mm.
so I've got a little bit of experience with the story-based games. I would say literally like an hour. So, but I was kind of enjoying myself a little bit.
Nice.
So maybe Dispatch would be something I can look forward to, just because that sounds like a great concept. Like, what an amazing
Mm-hmm.
foundation for a game.
Mm-hmm.
My game's a bit older. I'm looking forward to Dead Island 2
Okay.
because I really love the original Dead Island. Never got around to playing Dead Island 2, and recently, as I've been monkeying around with my PC trying to see which games I can get to work, I've been using Dead Island Riptide as a testing ground for some reason, just because of the way the textures load in that game.
Okay.
And it's been making me want to play Dead Island 2 a little bit. I've been like, let me get back into this.
Mm.
Let me see what it's all about. So, hopefully for spooky season, I can get my PC running. I can play some Dead Island 2 and get that going. Have you played Dead Island 2 or any of the Dead Island games?
I have not. It is another one that's on. I don't know if it's officially on the backlog. It's like part of PlayStation Plus Extra, so it's like in that library of titles, similar to a Game Pass, where it's available to me. Um, but it was something I had thought about for a while, and then it got added to there. So I was like, oh, cool, it's there. When I get around to it. So at some point, yes, I feel like, at least once again, I have no experience, but it could be something turn your brain off, similar to a Dead Rising. Just kind of go in, hack and slash type thing, have some fun with it. So no, but cool. Glad you're looking forward to that. Hopefully, yeah, you can get that working for you.
Yeah, I hope so. Because I remember the original Dead Island was like kind of Borderlands-esque in a
Oh,
weird way.
okay.
Where you have the four character, like at least the multiplayer way, and the way that the four characters kind of played differently, and they had their own abilities and things like that. It's like, oh, this person's the throwing knives character. This character is the blunt objects character. This character is the gun character, which is useless for the first 80% of the game.
What?
But, yeah, there's like no guns in the first Dead Island
Oh,
until you get through the sewer system, and then there's finally guns, and there's like no ammo for them, and you're like,
wow.
dang. Yeah, I'm so glad I chose the gun character. Uh, but yeah, I don't know. Looking forward to it. I hope it's great. And that's gonna do it for the Relatively Gaming podcast. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Which cat is that? Is that
This is Artemis,
Artemis?
aka Moose, the only one.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought you had
we
two
call him
cats named
Moose.
Artemis and Moose.
Quick lore, Artemis, and then we called him Artemoose as a joke, and now his nickname is Moose. Yeah, it's just one. One pain in the
Wow.
ass.
I literally thought you had two cats named Artemis and Moose.
You're not
Well,
the
we're
only
keeping
one.
this in the episode. Artemis, Artemis, you have a great rest of your day as well. Everybody, thanks for watching. If you've commented down below, we appreciate you. If you've liked, if you've watched anything, we really appreciate you. And we will catch you on the next episode. Bye bye.